quick review here of Rise of the Tomb Raider, Xbox One. First impressions, outstanding game. But you guys played the previous reboot. It's a huge improvement over that, and I'll get into it. I have little pictures down here to show you just what to expect from the game. So overall, after playing the reboot years ago, not that long ago, I had some issues with that game, the reboot, and Rise of the Tomb Raider seemed to fix all of them. The main one being the story and character development. Story and character development in this game are just perfect, in my opinion. There wasn't a whole lot of characters surrounding Lara this time. It was about three main people, and they're very voice acted very well, very kind of fleshed out. You actually cared about them a little bit, unlike the last game. And Laura's backstory at times, it makes sense a lot. So the overall story of the game, she's trying to avenge her father's death. I don't really want to give spoilers away, but she's sent off to foreign lands looking for a certain object. It kind of like she's always done, pretty much. So, and there's people who want the same object she's looking for, so she runs into them, and the story kind of evolves from there. And like I said, previous done very well. And so story-wise, it's a huge improvement from the last game, which is my main complaint. Graphic-wise, it looks stunning. It looks, I guess to me, it didn't look that much better than the reboot on the PS4 when it came out the second time on the PS4. So, having said that, the game looked incredible. I didn't have any problems with frame rates or anything like that. It didn't freeze on me or anything. There were a couple glitches here and there, but nothing major, nothing I'm going to harp on about. They weren't game changers or anything. So, having said that, story, graphically, it looked stunning. The level design, there were a couple times I had kind of like a deja vu moment, especially towards the end of the game. You're thinking to yourself, I've been here or seen this before, and I kind of felt like the end of this game reminded me kind of the ending of the last game in a way. The way the level design and the maps, I don't want to say maps, but the level design and the way it drove you into the climax of the end of the game. It reminded me a lot of the previous game. I remember thinking to myself, wow, I've kind of been here before, done this, but just different people, different enemies and stuff like that. The game, it doesn't, make you do a bunch of difficult boss battles. There are a few areas of the game where it kind of throws you into an area where you can't get out, and they're just throwing enemies at you left and right, and you just got to dodge and be able to use the right weapon for the situation. I had some trouble with that, and I had to stop and go back and upgrade, which brings me to this point. I mean, you can go through the entire game just following the story. You don't have to stop and do side missions, which I was doing. But I got to a point in the game where, I got to one of the situations where I was thrown in, a really confined space, a lot of enemies. I was dying over and over, so I figured, well, I'll go back and do some side missions, upgrade my equipment. So at some point in time, you're going to have to do that. You just can't, blow through the story mission without doing any side missions. Unless you play on easy mode, I guess you can do it, but I think I was on the hardest one you could at that time. So I had to go back and do some hunting and do some side missions and upgrade my weapons, ammo pouches, stuff like that. Dodges, I can dodge at certain times, upgrade the bow, get different types of weapons for the bow. I mean, you're going to use all different types of weapons during this game. You can't just go through with the AK-47 because that's not going to work on all the enemies. So you got to kind of switch up between the bow and the the rifles and everything. So it kept you on your feet. Put that way, the gameplay really kept you on your feet. My only complaint about was the targeting. The controls, when I had a weapon in my hand, I had a really hard time with the controls. They were just the x-axis was just too. I don't know. It was. I just couldn't get a good feel for it, so I actually had the sensitivity turned all the way down, and it still had a hard time aiming with the rifle. And I had the rifle pretty much upgraded all the way. I was hoping, I put some upgrades on a rifle would help out with the targeting, but it didn't even. The bow was okay. It was just somehow the weapons were just, whenever I aim, I pull it up in the sights. I just be off to the left or to the right of the enemy, and I miss a couple times, and so doesn't really no complaint was the aiming for the weapons. I had a hard time with sometimes, but other than that, the combat was fun. You could do stealth, or you could just go through like I did and kind of mix it up with stealth, take out the big guys, and just blast away at the other guys. It was kind of fun just to kind of change things up, and if I felt like doing stealth, I'd do stealth. If I didn't, I'd go in guns blazing. So that's it, guys. That's just a quick review. I don't want to sit and ramble on about it, but long story short, if you like the reboot, you're really gonna like this game. They did improve, like I said earlier, they improved on the story and the character development. I will say there's not a whole lot of replay value in it. I don't plan on going back and playing on a harder difficulty or doing the side missions. Now that I've finished the game, I really don't know if completing the side missions are really worth it other than getting a trophy for it, which I don't plan on doing. So I'm probably just going to sell it, throw it on eBay and sell it. I don't think there's a multiplayer on it. If there is, I'm not going to play it anyway. But highly recommended game. I don't know what it's going for now. I know it's coming out on the PS4. If it's coming out on PS4, you got a PS4, I'll definitely play it. I'm not sure if it's going to be full price or not. I think there's DLC coming. I don't know. Maybe I should look in that before I sell it. So yeah, I mean that's it, guys. I mean, awesome game. What more can I say? Once I started, I couldn't stop playing it. I think it lasted me, let's say, 15 hours maybe. 20. It might have been 20. I'm not sure. But that was with side missions mixed in and some little hunting and stuff like that. But definitely a fun game. One of the best games I played this year. It's up there anyway. And yeah, if you beat the game, don't skip the when the credits roll. Don't skip it. There's actually a cutscene at the end you're going to want to see.